put the glasses... Oh, found them. Hey, Miles. Travis. Right. Hey, Ed Boss. Yep, just the three of you so far. Oh, wow. That's really blurry as hell. Oh well. Anyway, Dum Dum McDaniels dropped his phone this morning just a few too many times, and yeah, now it's doing some really gnarly stuff. And of course, it happened just as I was leaving to go to Townsville this morning, so I had to deal with a very... Oh. Alright, just... Seems like it just crapped its pants and it just turned off. Anyway, so hopefully that's just a screen fix. This is a 7 Plus. It may be something else. Hopefully not. Hey, I got a screw missing. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. It's got a screw missing because I sacrificed one of mine for someone else's iPhone 7 Plus and they didn't have any. So I thought, well, I've got two, so you can have one of mine. Michael, Tony, I don't need... I've had this phone for 3 years now. I think it's fine. It doesn't need anything fancy. What it does need me to do though is to actually have pockets that work as pockets for a large phone. Because what happened with this one is that my pockets were a little bit short in my shorts. And subsequently, I just noticed the battery's going to hell too. Subsequently, it just sort of like pops out of the pockets when I sit down. And I usually don't notice until I get back up, and at that point is when it goes flying out. So I might need a battery for this as well, but I'm not sure if I've got any stock. I'll have to go and check. I did have an iPhone XR, but I gave that to my mother. Let's see, 7 Plus. Aha, it has a battery. Oh, wow, that must have just happened this morning. I smelt it. I dropped the phone and I smelt the burn, and that was it. Neat. Alright, let's get that out. I'm using this screen here because it's been floating around in my workshop for a while, and I don't know whether I can trust it or not. So I'm gonna use it as my own. It's probably not very trustworthy then. Twing. Yeah, Joseph, I did give her a 6S initially, and she was very happy with that. And then it started misbehaving with audio issues, and crap. At the time, I really didn't have time to mess around, and I could see it was better off to have a slightly larger phone, make it easier to type on. And so I happen to have an XR on hand, and it was that gaudy orange colour. So I thought, oh well, I'll give her that. Hey Jim, do you have any idea on any data on your solar panel generation status yet? Well, it hasn't exactly been able to produce a huge amount at this point, because every day since we had it activated has been raining and overcast and things like that. But I have generated over 100 kilowatt hours so far, so that's pretty good going. it was active on Wednesday. So you got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days, and we've produced over 100 kilowatt hour. So that's only about 20 a day average, which is a bit poor for a iPhone a 6.6 system. But like I said, it's been overcast and raining the whole time. So overall, pretty happy with that generation rate. Got a bone to pick with iFixit saying you have to pull the Taptic engine to remove the battery. Yeah, I think more people damage things by doing that. Because most often when they do this, they'll tear the flex off. With the iPhone 6 and 6S, it was a smart idea to take the... I'm not going to say the word... To take the oscillator off. Yeah, it gave you a bit of a better angle to do the extraction. But for these ones, no. It's a bit senseless with these ones. I really do not enjoy the iPhone 8 and similar ones though. They are terrible to take out. Oh, what the... I'm actually not sure if I even have True Tone data on this. I do. Wow. Shocked. We get 44. Joseph, what size is your system? Ah, this is one of those screens that, right. Now I know why this is floating around the workshop. Something up with these screens that I got, a particular batch, they would not take any of the True Tone data. So I wasn't putting them into customer machines. I was just like, oh, damn it, I'll find out what's going on later. I never found out what was going on. So that's why it's been floating around. Because it won't transfer, well, it won't hold True Tone data. Hey Pedro, how's it going? Oh, 6600. Okay, alright. Well, it'll be interesting to see how it goes on our first full sunny day. I thought we were going to have that on Friday, but it became overcast and started to rain again towards the end after about 2 o'clock. Christian, they accept the write, but then when it checks the data, there's nothing in it. It's just, yeah, so it writes, but then the data seems to just get discarded. Joseph, they're not too bad in all honesty in terms of, yeah, you would think being in a rural area we'd actually have a bit of an issue, but we really don't. I think maybe 3 outages a year is about it. If you took statistics for the entire town cumulatively, then maybe 10 outages a year. But we do seem to have multiple feeds coming into this place. And our feed is it's a different network compared to the rest of the town. Which may be why we were only offered the 6.6 system, but my in-laws, who were on the other network, they were offered a 10 kilowatt hour system, which is funny because their roof can't handle a 10 kilowatt. They had to back off slightly. To be fair, it was like 9.75 afterwards. Whereas our roof, we could fit 15 kilowatt hour on our roof if we wanted. But Ergon says, we can't allow you to do that. Yeah, Joseph, I am looking at that. I mean, ideally, I would love to have at least a 20 kilowatt hour storage, but I suspect we may be limited realistically to, a 14 or 7 kilowatt hour system. Vince, that's a nice thing to have. I don't mind being connected to the grid. There's certain advantages to that, but I would like to be able to be self-sufficient during outages. So as far as I understand, I need to get a hybrid DC inverter system. Guess we'll see when it comes around to that. That's going to be what, another $15,000? Hey Jason, I've got those machines ready to pack and send out to you tomorrow, Jason. Well, that one in particular. The Amy one. I've actually got a lot of packing to do tomorrow. I think I've got about a dozen machines that I've got to go. Sadly, almost all of them are failures, which is why they haven't been shipped out earlier. Usually when I get the failures, I put them on the retry queue, and I give them another check over and things like that a second time around, rather than just first time around going, oh, dead, toss it, unless it's blatantly obvious that it's not going to be repairable. But otherwise, I usually give most boards a second run, just to be sure. Create my own fresh eye effect. I come back to it a week later. Let's see. I need some iPhone guides here. Yes, I can send that too. Sorry, Jason, that one's a bit of a drop the ball big time on that one, didn't I? It's always just so hard when you're, what the hell? What kind of person am I? I didn't even put a camera guide into that. Yeah, it's always difficult when you don't have board views and schematics, and if it doesn't end up being a blatantly obvious fault, then you sort of can't do anything really. Not realistically. It's a bit like those ultrasound systems that I had. I fixed what was obvious, and then it still wasn't working, so I was like, well, don't really have the resources to do the rest. If the fate of the planet depended on it, you could probably go, alright, well, we can do a little more digging around this time. By the way, yes, I know I'm using a white screen with the black chassis. That's cool. It's Oreo style. And unfortunately, I've mixed up my screws. Yeah, you don't feel like you should be there. That's better. Mix and match thing. It is indeed, Pedro. Hey, Warren Stamps. I see you sneaking in there. Ach, niemand. I've got my screws back to front. At least it seems, even when you get these mixed up, they don't seem to scratch the front paint off anymore. It used to be such a pain in the older screens. You get the wrong screw in there and you end up with this little cut-out circle in the paint. And then you know you'd have to replace it. So customer's going to go, hey, that's not supposed to be like that. And you, oh no, it's a feature, sir. It's let you know it's genuine Apple. Black screen on red chassis. Yeah, the red one's always sort of confused me as to why they even put that out. And I saw for the first time the new 24-inch iMac desktops. Can't say I'm a fan. I don't know why they've gone for the shrunken size either. Next to it was a 2020 27-inch, and I gotta say I'm definitely more partial to the 2020 17-inch, 27-inch, and I'll probably get one or two of those soon. Or at least one of those and then another screen to go next to it. Because one thing I've found is that a couple of months ago my second LCD panel just died on me, and I thought, no, you know what, I can live without it. I know, foolish words. Anyway, so I was doing fine with it, but now that I'm doing a bit more coding again with Flexboard View, I'm realizing, oh god, I need the at least two, preferably 3 screen situation. There's no way that I can code and debug and all that sort of stuff with just one screen. Even if it is a 27-inch 2880 by 1440 screen. 2560 rather. Hey, Creative Visuals. I've got no problems with the new PM. I think it's more interesting the way that it was a case of, I mean, as usual, the opposition didn't really win the election. It was more a case of the incumbents lost the election. And it's interesting how there's a great rise in the independents, which is a good thing, in my opinion. It sort of forces stuff to have to be a little more open, as it were. A lot more eyeballs looking at it. Hey, Mucktrits. Vince, yeah, 4K screens would be right. Okay, well that's working there. Yeah, change is good at an appropriate time. In 3 terms, the rot starts to set in. It pretty much doesn't matter what party is in. After 3 terms, you know there's going to be just a little bit too much comfort zone stuff, back scratching and underhandedness. It just happens. It's just the nature of power. Oh, Palmer, yeah, giving off his 100 million. Yeah, it was very generous of him to fund the advertising departments. Okay. Yeah, well, it seems like it's working. Customers should be happy with that. Welcome back, phone. Welcome back. Nice to have you working again. Sorry. Yeah, and that battery, like I said, I'm pretty sure that happened this morning in the drop because, yeah, I definitely smelled it. That can go in the bin. Lithium battery can go into the dump. Fortunately, the dump does have an area where you can put the lithium packs. And, yeah, I just mark them, actually right on the boxes, say lithium batteries. Yeah, the church association thing, yeah, just all that kind of stuff. It starts to get a little bit wonky. People start presuming they can get away with a lot of stuff without checks and balances. It's just the nature of power. You're in it for long enough, it corrupts. Not in a necessarily like malicious, evil kind of way, but it just does have that habit of corroding what would otherwise be a normal process. I think we started to see it with the sports rorts, things like that. Is it someone complained they didn't get a snag? Bloody hell. People complain about anything. Alright, I've got a Lenovo to fix now. Oh, I also bought a couple of things while I was in Townsville. It's a show and tell for no good reason, but why not? Everybody loves a show and tell. So, I've got masking tape, which I need to break out. This is just general masking tape. This is so that I don't have to keep using Captain tape for my... what do you call it? When I'm putting my 1700s back together. So now I can just rip off some masking tape nice and quick. So that's good. Stiff back scratcher. No, not really. It's, mind you, this would be an awesome back scratcher. But the damage it would do. Okay, the point of this is I'm going to see if I can use it as a battery adhesive scraper in the MacBooks. It may not work, it may work, I don't know. But, I mean, you've seen I've used the more surgical blade type things, or the hobby blades. The trouble is they are very delicate, and I'm thinking this may, if it can do the job, I might have to hone the edge down a little bit. But if it can do it, they'll be a lot more sturdy, and it's sufficiently narrow that it will still do the job. Let's see, paint pens, I'm just trying to test to see if things can survive the ultrasonicking process. Plus, it's cool to write on stuff sometimes. If there's graffiti that it turns up in town, it's not my fault. That's pretty good. It stands out well. So I got a green and a white just to try those out. And yeah, more of these. These are actually just more for me marking jobs. I find I keep running out. I'm a little bit of a office stationery gullible type person. I really get a little bit crazy with office stationery. And I got two more of these little itty bitty things. These are the grinders I use in my battery Dremel. And I use them for grinding out iPhone screws, particularly the baseline ones. Around the corners of the blade, yeah. You can see they're quite fine, but I kind of need that to be able to groove out busted up pentalobes at the bottom of iPhones, and that just lets me generate a slot that I can then put a normal flat blade through. Sound like I'm 23. Cool. I could live with that. Yeah, Officeworks and Bunnings are pretty much my two guilty pleasures. I'm actually quite happy with that. I'm going to be curious to see how that goes through the ultrasonic cleaner. Hopefully it will actually stay on the board. Most of the paint pens that I use tend to come off, but it'll be worth testing. Alright, we need to clean this up because we've had a bunch of junk on it. And even though it's a Lenovo, we still will be respectful. Joseph King, what's that? Happy 23rd birthday, Catherine. Oh, it's Catherine's 23rd, really? Wow. Congratulations, Catherine. I'm making 23. I don't remember my 23rd. Or maybe I do. I don't know. I would have been in Africa at the time. Hey, Oliver. Oh, I better get a container. Lenovo. How much for the Dremel bits? It was 16 Australian dollars for the two of them. They don't last that long, unfortunately. It's not a diamond embedded abrasive type tip, which is what I probably would prefer. Instead, it's some kind of hard metal tip. Fortunately, for the most part, those pentalobe screws on the bottom of iPhones, they're fairly soft and squishy. It's my birthday on the 23rd. I'm 48. Oh, alright. Okay, that realigns everything and makes the universe back to normal for me. Right. So you're only a smidge younger than myself. Sent you a picture of my finished e-mountain bike project. Did I get that already? I'm sure. I'll have to have a look. I think I did see that. I really can't remember. I'll have to double check now. So it's scratching around there. Alright. Wow, yeah. Good job on the heat sinking there for those two. Yep. Right up there with the Apple shoe rubber job. So what's the issue with this? It better not be headphones. That's headphones. What? What? Oh, this. What? Oh, this uses one of those ultra lightweight power brick thingies. The little wall wart type ones. Yeah. Hate these things. What I hate about them mostly, in fact, not just Lenovo, but any of them that make these wall wart, these type of connectors with a very fine pin in them, is it's just so easy to bend or bust that pin. It's a joke. Okay, power comes up. We do have a charge indicate. Hey, Harold. The light comes on. Is this just a bad... This is probably a bad eMMC or something. This has probably got an eMMC chipset on it, and it's Cactus. What the frickety hell? Yeah, I gotta go out and check that. Oh, he's up there. Okay. He's probably like it.
I can smell manure.
Yeah, probably. Do live in the country. Yeah. Put the this. Let's see what it does. I don't know why it made the bang there, whether it was or whether he was doing something. Eyeballing it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I think he's a bit confounded.
frustrated. I'd say. Yeah, I would love to actually have like
Mm.
a run all the way across, and he'd be happy then.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Yeah,
think
look, 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 I'm done.
it's cool died.
I did it.
I don't know why.
Milo, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do you want to jump down? You want to jump down? Hey, Milo. Yeah. Well, I know, you can't get up there anymore because I closed it. Huh? Do you want to come down? Milo. Oh, do you want to come down? Do you want to get on the back? Yeah? Okay. Good job. You're a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. You jumped down properly. Didn't kill me. Oh, Milo. Alright, well, that was fun and games. Okay, so this actually appears like it is running. No, I've got no caps lock there. Hmm. It is responding to the power button. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's actually kind of weird. But I do have a feeling this is probably a dead eMMC. Or something like that. Either that or they've... No, they haven't taken the hard drive out. Yeah, that must be it there. Hmm. Oh, is there a button on this one? Some of these have a button on them which will activate it into the... There we go. certainly don't seem to be getting much of anything happening. Alright, let's plug an external screen and see if anything shows up there. Some generic jazz, easy listening YouTube channel-y thingy. The ones that usually have like 8-hour long regurgitations of whatever free jazz they were able to compile. That or it's all computer generated, I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me if it's computer generated jazz. No signal. Yeah, elevator music. Oh yeah, USB test. I always forget to use these on PCs. Okay, so we've got power up, but pretty much nothing else. Yeah, that is either it's being kept in a reset state or it's dead. It's a Lenovo, Thomas. Lewis's favorite kind of machine. Yeah, so at this point we're just simply gonna see if we can induce it to show some kind of life. We'll actually disconnect the I/O port as well. Okay, so really we just have the main board, nothing else. No trackpad, no keyboard, no daughter board. Something's half alive because it is flashing to say stuff ain't right. Miles, don't get specific like that. It kind of ruins the whole point of generalizations. Diddly FA. Yep, let's just... Oh, great. Different sizes everywhere. Tony, that's what was done about 20 minutes ago. I thought these were illegal. The warranty void screw covers. Travis, this might be the one time you're actually correct. Those markings always make me think that it's a rupture capacitor initially, just on first glance. But obviously it's not. But it still catches me out. And I loathe and detest this habit that these companies have of dropping these protective sheets on the board. It's like, it doesn't... Yeah. Hey Gadgets Clink. Sunday evening. Should be doing better things in my life. Hey Pro Engineer. Well, same thing I just said to Jack Gadgets. Should be doing something better with my life. I mean, in fairness, I had to fix my iPhone 7 Plus. That is done. So I guess I could say I achieved all that was necessary for tonight. Random bugs. Nothing better than making money. Well, I do agree. Oh, well, perhaps other than making more money. Spending other people's money. That's always a good feeling, particularly when you're allowed to. As opposed to when you're not meant to. Nah, I think I'm just going to wrap this one up and say, no, I mean, geez, the fact it's got the eMMC on it, that's a bad start. The fact that it gets up to a power state, like, you know, it spins the fan and everything else is coming up, but we've got no CPU activity. You know, either it's being held in reset somehow, or it's just crapped. I'm gonna go with the latter. It's crapped. Business point here. This wasn't even a, how could you say, a essential job or anything. It was just more a case of have a look at it, see if there's anything you can do in a hurry. If not, it can just join the landfill, which it sadly will. Do a BIOS flash. No, not even going to do that, Thomas, on the grounds of the fact that by the time I find it, Yeah, unless there is a... No, it's just not worth it. These machines are $2.99 on special, $3.99 regularly. The person's not going to want to pay more than $50 for this job. It's the sad reality of it. I mean, if it had a NVMe or even just an M2 SSD, hell, even if it had a spinning Rust drive, then it might be worth considering. And no disrespect to the people who bought it, because the advertising would have been like, this can do everything you need on the internet, etc. But doing everything you need and doing it well enough, that's two different things. And sadly, these machines, it's probably a blessing in some ways, unless they need their data. I'll check with them if they need their data. If they need their data, then that's going to be a whole different ballgame. But most of the time, these are student laptops, or usually student laptops, and all their data is kept on the school cloud or the education system cloud, specifically because they know that this sort of thing happens a lot. It should have an M2 SSD. Well, I tell you what, I can't see it anywhere. I mean, it's got a slot for it, and I can't see it. So maybe that is just RAM. But either way, it's already beyond the repair cost. $50-50 day, Jason. 50-50. My car's starting to misbehave, I think. I felt twice when I needed to get up and move in a hurry on the highway. Put my foot down and it had that dreaded pause. Just like, well, it started to go, and then I went, change my mind. And then I said, actually, no, you know what? We'll go faster now. And that's a real heart starter stuff when you're trying to get past a 3-trailer truck. So I'm going to have to get that checked out. Ah, okay, you're just a bit stiff. Did you check the resistance on the CPU? No. I did not. I can do that, but I did not. The real problem is just that unless you do these machines every day, the time it's going to take to learn the behaviors of this machine. Okay, we got a 1.5 ohms. That's a little... It's not impossibly low. Okay, I'm going to say this is maybe PCH, but 1.5... It was 1.5. There we go, 1.5. It's not real short circuit material, but depends on what CPU they're using. I'm gonna guess, well, actually, you know what? I don't know what CPU this has. Either way, the point is that unless you're getting a bunch of these, then the time you're going to invest in trying to work out what's wrong is time lost. And time that the customer's not going to be paying for. You can't expect them to pay for that. So I'm just going to do the respectful thing and say, you know what? I couldn't find anything immediately. So if there's someone else that you know who's willing to invest their time into it, by all means go for it. But I'm not going to. It seems a little harsh, but it's just the reality of it. If you want to keep your business doors open, then you have to clear this stuff out quickly. The MacBooks, agreeably, I do tend to hold on to for a bit longer and try and investigate things, but that's more because I know I'm going to get more of those same models. So if I can, it's kind of like training on the job in some ways in terms of getting used to the behavioral patterns and the possible faults. This thing, I'll never see it again. I'll never see one of these again. It's 2020 model, yeah. Notice the middle screw was missing. So when it comes down to business, it's not so much what you can potentially do, it's what's... And that's a micro thing, so I think I actually might finish up tonight. Go sort micro. I've got so much paperwork to get done. Yeah, on business, it's not so much can you do it, it's a case of should you do it. If you've got, if it's a hobby or something like that, or you're just doing it for yourself or anything like that, then yeah, I mean, no problem, go for it. Invest the time, learn about it, do whatever. But if this thing sucks up an hour of my time, on the basis of the fact that I'll probably never see another one like it, then it's not a good investment, particularly on a Sunday night when I could be doing paperwork. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Did I plug everything in? F1 race in 30 minutes. Where are they having it this weekend? Well, I can't turn the camera around and show you, but there's about 30 MacBook laptops that I could better invest that time into. Fortunately, none of them are 1534s, so no. So I'm going to pass this on to someone else who either has experience with these or is willing to expend the time without the expense. It is definitely one of the harder things with running a business that I found, is knowing that you need to make these choices based on your business sense, on your profit sense, as opposed to based on your personal ego. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean personal ego in the sense of like, I can't describe it, but the point is you can't let your ego drive you down too many rabbit holes. I mean, I already go down enough as it is. Even if you don't have to prove that you can fix everything by basically spending a week trying to fix everything. You have to let that go. If someone else is paying you your daily wage and keeping the lights on and keeping your food in your tummy and a roof over your head, then that's great, go for it. But when you've got to do those things, keep power on, food, lights, all that sort of stuff, and roof over your head, you have to walk away from these sort of things. So, Kenny Rogers' decision, The Gambler, yes. I do like that song, Jason. Do like that song. I'm not going to try to sing it because I know that will terrify people, but I do like it. All right, I'm out of here for tonight. Sorry it was a short one, but at least we got to say hello. Until maybe tomorrow, we'll see how things go. In the meantime, you all take care. I'll catch you later.